You know what I feel like doing right now? Hating. Nothing better in this world to do. Amazon Prime and Freevee's new reality show, The GOAT, has finally finished airing weekly, and yeah, I meant that finally. Thank goodness it's over. If you've never heard of this show before, you're probably thinking, what the hell is The GOAT? And if you have watched the show already, you're also probably thinking, what the hell is The GOAT? We currently live in an era of reality TV that is all about bringing people back from other various reality shows to compete against each other. The Traitors, House of Villains, The GOAT, even Hulu has an upcoming show doing the same thing. The entire trend of entertainment as a whole at the moment is just rehashing, remaking, and returning shows, movies, and characters instead of creating anything actually original. However, reality TV masters this with its complex and jumbled up group of misfit and reality stars from past and present coming together to create quality television that all reality TV fans can look forward to. Well, except for the fact that The GOAT hasn't done this at all. The show was just not good at all. It trickles down from the creation of the show to the editing, production, and release of it, all the way down to the format and the actual participants. Well, not all of them, but a good number of them. I mean, let's be honest. Unless you're a Bravo fan who recognized the names of Jill and Kristen, or you're a big Devon fan like myself, you probably never even heard of this show, and to be honest, even if you are a fan of these people that I mentioned, there's an even bigger chance you just never checked out this show, and I don't blame you for that. The GOAT was filmed in early 2023, and it just came out now. That should speak volumes to the quality of the show and how it was shelved for so long. Now, maybe Amazon just shouldn't be trying to enter into the reality TV market, because apparently their other original reality shows aren't good either. I personally would really like to see Apple TV, my favorite and the best streaming service out there, take on a competition reality series. I've personally had enough of Netflix's overrated mess of shows, and I want to see someone take down the reality show monopoly. I just don't think Amazon is going to be that one to do it. The GOAT has a hard time figuring out what its identity as a show should be. It feels like it's trying really hard all the time to remind you that this is a parody of a reality show, but it doesn't come off that way all the time. The contestants themselves seem to take the whole thing pretty seriously, and the more and more they try to shove it into our faces that this whole thing is just making fun of reality TV, it feels more and more disingenuous, and now I don't know what this show is supposed to be. It also doesn't help that most of this rhetoric comes from the show's host, Daniel Tosh. Now, I never watched or saw any of his stuff prior to the show, and actually at first I thought he was kind of funny, but as more episodes came out, I realized that he was just trying way too hard. Not just at being a host, but just at being funny and trying to be a contestant of the show, basically. He tries way too hard every episode to put himself over, and he has entire segments dedicated just to himself, but a reality show should always be about the contestants and not about the host. He was not funny, and I feel like the contestants had to just play along with his awful comedic timing, forced jokes, and loudness. The whole bit where he's ready to read the votes for elimination and the piece of paper he just has some weird note or drawing on it is just not funny, and I'm just confused at what the purpose of it is supposed to be. But anyways, back to that whole portraying this show as a parody of reality TV. Yeah, really bad execution on that. This show has been compared a little bit to House of Villains, but those comparisons all just point out what House of Villains actually got right and what The GOAT got wrong. First of all, House of Villains had an actually great and legendary cast. The GOAT has Devon, Jill and Kristen, and then I guess you maybe could include people like Wendell, Reza, maybe Tasia and Justin too, but this cast is just riddled with random people from the most random shows, like CJ from F-Boy Island, Jason from the Food Network. I don't even know what show he was on. What was it, Worst Cooks in America? Wait, hold on, let me look it up. Holiday Baking Championship, okay. And yet the whole tagline for this show is that these people are all fighting to be crowned the greatest reality TV star of all time. Obviously that's part of the parody of this show because of how ridiculous that premise sounds, but the entire show feels like a complete slap in the face to what reality TV is. I don't think the producers really had a firm grasp on what reality TV is, or at least what makes it good, because while ridiculous situations are what drive entertainment, they aren't entertaining anymore when they become forced. If there's one thing I hate the most in this world, it's tryhards, and this entire show has that tryhardy energy. Devon, Jill, Kristen, Justin, and I'd even throw in Paula are really the only reasons worth watching this show. They tried their best in making this a show actually worth your time watching, but by episode 4 or 5, I went from actually watching the show with intent to relegating it to something I had on in the background while I did other things. There's certain people in this cast like Wendell and Reza that just suck all of the fun out of everything. This is only the second time I've watched Reza after his early exit on The Traitors, and I now realize that we missed absolutely nothing on The Traitors because Reza was annoying as hell on this. And Wendell too. Wendell being wishy-washy every single episode about Devon and just ruining anything fun sucked to watch. And you know what? I might blame this show's lack of quality on him entirely. I mean, his resume of reality TV is not very good. Ghost Island sucked, Winners at War was a huge disappointment, and The GOAT also sucked. Wendell might just need to be banned from reality TV forever because no show or season he's been on has been good. And while we're on the topic of quality, how about the challenges on this show? Just awful. There's some fun in how cheap and childlike a lot of the challenges were. Like, they just reminded me of that weird Netflix reality games thing on YouTube where all the challenges just felt like something you could set up in your own backyard in a few minutes and call it a day. But having to sit through 2 of these per episode didn't make it any better or funnier, especially when Daniel Tosh is constantly adding his commentary and making sure he gets his own segments during the challenges. And speaking of 2 challenges per episode, that leads into the format of the show. The whole format of an initial challenge, then team picking, and then the team challenge, and then voting and elimination, it just all felt really clunky, and nothing about the actual teams or challenges ever really affected the dynamics in the house more than what was already going on. The teams also just never impacted how the votes went either. But then they switched the format like midway through to make it like a diet Big Brother basically, and by this point I felt like the show kind of picked up in quality and was pretty much just average the rest of the way. That's about the most positive thing I can say about the show as a whole, to be honest. Just complete mediocrity in every aspect, from format, the challenges, to host, to cast, and to execution on its premise. Yeah, I can see why this show was shelved for a year. I didn't really want to get into any of the actual specifics on moments or participants or anything, and more so just wanted to take this time to talk about the show in general, because while I do love Devon's fights and Paula's fights, and even her winning the whole thing, I could have just watched clips of those moments on Twitter and called it a day. In this day and age where more reality shows are coming out that are bringing back reality stars to face off against each other, avoid this one. That's my personal advice. House of Villains Season 2 is coming soon, right? Just check that out instead when it comes out. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully nobody from The GOAT or even Amazon cancel me or anything, because at the end of the day, these are all my opinions. Let me know down below what you thought of The GOAT if you watched it in the first place. And also, let me know what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.